Remember, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley is on a week-long visit to the United States, and during this visit, the Finance Minister is set to attend the IMF and the World Bank annual meetings. And ahead of those key events, the Finance Minister is also set to address a gathering at the Harvard University. CNBC TV 18's Malvika Jain, who has been tracking FM's US visit, caught up with Tarun Khanna. He's a professor at Harvard Business School and is also heading the South Asia Institute in the university. Here's what he expects from the Finance Minister's high-profile visit.
I'm told that he would prefer to speak primarily about the GST reforms that the current government is working through. But in response to your comment, I don't think we should be overly carried away by quarter-by-quarter shifts in GDP up or down. There's always, in my view, excess exuberance when it goes up and excess dismay when it goes down. Rather, we should be focused squarely on the building of the underlying mechanism and institutions that will propel India forward for the next 25, 30 years.
And you see that happening? I
see bits and pieces of it being put into place. Of course, as an impatient academic entrepreneur, I'd be thrilled if it went much, much faster. But you know, these things take time. Take the GST. I mean, there are bound to be some teething problems. But the idea of having a unified tax system is something that lots of previous administrations have talked about for many, many years. I'm glad to see some steps forward. And there's the predictable ups and downs of different entities in the supply chain, trying to come to terms with it, the informal economy, trying to make sense of it. But in the long run, it's going to broaden and harmonize the tax net in a way that I think is in India's interest.
It's actually world over that job creation has slowed down. And there is a section within the government which suggests and recommends and feels that labor-intensive manufacturing is probably the solution back home in India. Do you agree with that point of view? And if not, what are your recommendations?
Well, I think Prime Minister Modi's and his administration's various attempts to attract manufacturing under Make in India program rubric is a great idea. I mean, if we can make it easier for global companies to come and invest money in India, nothing like it. I think we should push forward on those fronts. But I think we should be careful about not trying to do things that are bucking against secular technology trends.